just crying to be painted. And it's a street scene with a nice arch and beautiful shadows, strong light, and such strong light that the entire building on the left is bleached out in sun. So this will be, similar to what I did here, where I just bleached out the whole building in sun and then painted all the shadow shapes and tried to link the shadow shape as much as possible. However, the one that I'm going to do today is lots of shadow shapes that are not linked, but the entire right hand side is a nice big linked shape. So that'll just be one big, huge, loose wash. So we'll activate the paints. I've already got them pretty well activated. Let me just give them a mist here. And we'll get a nice big pseudo squirrel mop brush here. And I'm thinking light values, and I'm thinking consistency of tea or coffee. And when I look at, I also did, to kind of prepare my mind, I did a little value thumbnail, and just a really quick thumbnail so I could figure out where my whites and lights are going to be, where my mids or my shadows are going to be, and then where sort of dark shapes inside those mid-value shapes. So just a real quick thumbnail, get my mind thinking about what I'm going to do. And now the pressure's on. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. You can barely see it, but there's a shape that goes all the way down, right like that, all the way down here. And then there's some shadow shapes over here. I'm just going to go very quick and try and keep it nice and loose here. And then there's the window. Let's see here. Get some colors moving here. This all has a bunch of shadows that go all the way down here. Shadows underneath here. I think I have to take another brush and just every once in a while just drop in some cools into here. And just straighten out that edge there. Okay. And we're going to connect this right to the shadow here. Let it run down. So you see that little bead that I was talking about earlier this morning? No?
Yes, yes, I see.
And then right down here, I'll add a little cool to that. There's the shadow. Connect it right to this lady here. Here's her umbrella. Get some worms in there. Connect it right to this guy. And then after I get all these light values in here, then I'm going to go in and then I will start to identify. Right now, just having fun, linking these shapes together with all these shadow shapes. Now, let's see. This is a one big shadow shape right here. All this wet. Here, try and keep this wet because I need to connect all this stuff here. This guy actually isn't connected. We'll identify this guy later more, but right now, I'll just block him out here. Alright, get this lady in here. shadow shape goes like that. Goes up here. It's nice to start at the top and work down, but I kind of got myself going backwards here. Okay. Now, I'm going to just keep this really wet down here if I can. And I'm going to throw some more color up at top here. Start at the top again, work my way down. Let's see. Maybe I'll get a sharper brush just to carve this out here. Super light. Okay, and that's actually, I should have left a little bit of a white edge there. I'll leave a white edge right here. It's a little spot of white. Keep the shadow nice and warm. I can add some cools to it later. This is all in shadow. So this is where it's fun. So drop in a bunch of colors. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. It goes down like this. Connects to this. Shadow goes like that. Once it starts getting muddy, I clean my brush, add some fresh color. Let's see. So there's this interesting little see how wet it is, how it's all the colors are merging and on the paper. Let's see. Oops. Shadows, shadows, shadows. Okay, I'll go back and link those later since they're not these are not connected to anything. I can go back to those later. I want to keep the ones that are linked as much as possible. Keep this game going. Okay, let's see. So Just like that. There's a big shadow underneath here. And there's, shadows within the shadows we'll have to get later. Shadow. Losing the bead. Get the bead back here. This is all in shadow. So now, this is all in shadow. Whoops, sorry. You guys are sure quiet. Alright. Think I need to concentrate or something? Alright. This is all in shadow. All in shadow, all in shadow, all in shadow. Connected, connected, connected. All in shadow. All in shadow. Since you guys aren't helping me, I gotta remind myself it's all in shadow, all in shadow, all in shadow.
It's looking fantastic. And you're just using whatever paint you like.
I have a good question. I'm trying to, play with the warms and cools. Let's see. Let's see. This is a fairly important shape here. This is kind of where I'd like to be the star of my shows, over here somewhere. Now it should connect to this guy. All this is in shadow. I'm going to go white against dark, dark against light here. I'm going to have this guy kind of be a white shape down there. The rest of these I'll make dark. And then let's see what happens if I take a mistake. Let's find out. It's nothing like trying something new in front of everybody on the camera. Now, gotta keep that wet here. Okay. This guy. All this is going to be a big linked shape. So, go back into this here. We will identify these guys later with our next values. Let's get some figures back here. This guy. There, we got it. Now we can just, let's go warm, kind of like I did that wash earlier today. And then some alizarin crimson and the browns, and then we'll go blue. There. Then we'll tilt it. Give it a little bit.
4 hours to do what he just did.
And I kind of got myself in trouble here. Let's see if I can link this shadow and keep it nice and connected by re-wetting it quick. And this figure is going to be, we're going to do a lot more on this person, so I'm not too worried. Alright, so I think, yeah. So there's obviously, I got to go in here and do some connected shapes, or some other little shapes here, like the windows. Oh, trying to, I didn't connect as much as I should have. Right here, there should be connected. Might still be able to do it, still pretty wet. Connect shapes here. Little dashes here and there. Trying to keep my hand out of the some windows. Let's put a window up here. And put a shadow of this here. Lighten that side. Okay, get my hand in my paint. Alright, let's see. See how much I can track through. The nice thing about this painting is half the painting's done before you start. Look, it's all white. White paper. Look, you hardly have to do any painting. Alright, again, we're going to add darks to these later. Okay. There's all kinds of these bars and stuff that are casting these shadows all the way down. It's hard to see in the sun. Let's see. I'm just going to do that, and we'll figure it out later. That's the first fast connected wash. We'll come back to this guy when I can see him a little better. I'm having trouble seeing the iPad, what's going on here.
We could take a break.
Oh, let's see. Oh, the sun's coming. Oh, it's drying before I can even get some color on there. I'm going to go back in and when I'm done putting colors in, I think I'm going to put some reflections down, because there actually is reflections in that photo. You can't see it, but it was wet after a rain.
That's a good idea.
So I should have connected as much as I could have. Connected this to this, so I'm going to go back in and kind of redo it. I like to connect whenever possible. So I'm going to re-wet this guy. Put some more. The palette's already dry. Wow. Oh, that sun's really,
Yeah, it's really brutal.
it's really drying things quick. Let me get some more color ready. Alright. Some blues ready. What an interesting day. It's a little cloudy. It's pretty sunny. Okay, so I'm just going to try and connect it, but leave a little sliver there. And just connect this guy. Now, this shoulder's actually really bright. Bright light here.
Nice.
Just going to get some of the shadow over here. And then this one leg's really in shadow. I'm going to have to do it in a couple stages here. This leg's going way back into that kind of some deep shadow. We'll carve this out more later. And then underneath this. Oh, I can't see it again. And bright light. Let's see. Just going to do that. And just like that. Connect that down, soften that a little bit. Alright, and this arm's actually in shadow. I want to separate it from the shirt a little bit. Alright, I'll play with it more.
Great.
Get some real start. So we've had a little intermission there, and I was a little overzealous and got a little sloppy. I'm alright with, I wanted some soft and lost edges for the foliage, but I needed a little more perspective, so I cleaned this up a little bit using a stiff bristle brush a little bit. What else did I do? This guy was a complete silhouette, and this guy, I liked his shadow form better, and it kind of was a drastic change. I added a little detail. This guy, I put a shadow under this guy to anchor him, soften this a little bit here. And then I played with this a little bit here. I like a painting that's loose and impressionistic, but I like some areas to be tight and show more information and, you know, show, I don't know, the skill level of the artist there. So I added, you know, a little more detail in that section there, added some darks in there. So that's all I did. And on the photo, it was taken in Malaga, and there was it had rained, and so there was actually some reflections off these figures, so I thought we might give that a shot. I'm not really sure exactly how to go about it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have to wet underneath these guys here. So I'm just going to wet everything underneath these guys. And we'll just add some pigment to your feet, and I think we'll give the impression of a reflection.
Perfect.
Yeah, maybe I'll even mist it a little bit. I'll probably have to play with it a bit. And I'd like to go at a pretty steep angle because I don't want the paint to flow up. So let's see if I can prop it up even more. Get it a nice high angle there. There we go. And then we'll just drop in. Oh, lost my water here. Drop in some pigment underneath these guys' feet. How does it look? Okay. Maybe I'll help it along a little bit. Thought it'd flow a little faster than that. My makeshift easel here. There we go.
Nice. It's
And
better already. It's great.
get some moving down here. Help it along a little bit. This young lady back here. There we go. The sky.
So the streets were actually wet at the time.
Yeah, it was an amazing photo op. Whoop. Of course I get some. Rub that out before it. Not falling very fast. Let's help it along here.
So this is on Arches paper.
This is on Arches paper, yep, 140 pounds.
That's why I can take all that. Doesn't activate the other colors. Really, it's terrific.
Oh, we're going. Should be pretty steep angle. It's a little buckling, so we're getting some little curves in there. It's not going straight down. So the better, more of an angle I can go, the steeper I can go, the better it'll be. Give it that wet look.
Great.
All right, yeah, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, but I think I need to anchor it a little bit more.
That's great.
Looks like it's floating here. I want people floating. But yeah, I'll play with it a little bit and show you the end result.
Okay. Now you're purposely going darker at the point where it's touching the subject.
Yeah, and I didn't want a gap between the shadow and the foot because it looked like they're kind of floating.
Yeah, right,
So I got to connect that shadow right to their feet.
Great. Well, we'll check back with you again later.
All right, thanks.
And wow, here we have a finished painting. Hey, great job.
All I did was soften these reflections and signed it, and it's done. Malaga painting number 1.
All right.